Welcome to Gary's Urban Larder. Today I'm doing 3 sides that's fit for any spring or Easter table. We have a beautiful salad of asparagus, mint, peas, lamb's lettuce, and baby Jim. Beautiful Dijon vinaigrette. We have glazed carrots that are made with a kick of cumin and chili. Finally, we have our devil's eggs, which we'll probably use as an appetizer, which have a special ingredient that I hope you like. Okay, let's get started. I will take you through the ingredients for our first side dish. This is the asparagus, peas, and mint salad. We have a poached egg. We have some petit pois, some nice baby peas, a lemon, Dijon mustard, salt, pepper, olive oil, lamb's lettuce, and some baby Jim lettuce as well. We have mint, picked mint leaves, which we'll chop and add into our salad, and some asparagus. Now we're going to start by blanching part of the asparagus. We're not going to blanch all of it because we're going to use some that we want to keep to slice into our salad. So I think you all know how to prepare asparagus to blanch. You just give it a nice push, and where it breaks, that's the woody bit of the stem, and you don't want to eat that. So I can't remember when I first had asparagus. I was probably in college, and I have to say I wasn't really sure about it at all, but now I absolutely love it. So we've got some water that's just on the boil here. And as soon as it comes up to the boil, we'll pop these in. It only takes a couple of minutes, and then we'll put them in a cold water bath. Okay, that's coming up to the boil. So I'm just going to put those in, and while those are blanching, I'm just going to prep the rest of our asparagus. We don't need a huge amount. There, I think that will do. And that's ready for when our asparagus has blanched. Meanwhile, in the bowl where we're going to dress our salad, I'm going to get started with some of our Dijon mustard, a bit of salt, going to crack some pepper in there, and a good glug of olive oil. And we'll get some lemon zest. Remember to break the skin of the lemon to get those essential oils going. And I'll just take our microplane and get some zest. And that goes into our bowl. Okay? And let's give that a little mix around. Get the right knife. So now we're just going to juice part of that lemon. I think those are ready, actually. They're still bright and green, and into our ice bath those go. So there. While those are cooling, finish our dressing. So juice of a lemon, of half a lemon in this case. And just give that a mix. And it's a good idea to taste it at this stage to adjust your seasoning. That's lovely. That's beautiful. So into this, I'm going to take a vegetable peeler and I'm just going to carefully peel our fresh asparagus into that dressing. Okay, so I'll just finish doing this and then we'll add the rest of our asparagus and our other ingredients. Okay, I've sliced our fresh asparagus and just tossing that in the dressing. And now I'm going to add in our chilled asparagus, just making sure those get a good drain. You don't need the excess water. So in go our peas. And just going to give that a toss. And in goes the lamb's lettuce. I think I'll use all of it. It's really wonderful. Really nice texture. And then to add more interest, we're just adding the baby gem lettuce, just tearing it gently, roughly into the salad, just so they're nice pieces. And now what I'm going to do with the mint is to bruise it. So just giving that a twist, and then I'm going to rip that and add that to the salad. So now you just want to give that a good toss, and then we'll plate it. This is a lovely spring salad to have on your Easter table or any other spring table where you're enjoying a meal with family and friends. Okay, let's plate this. Take some of our greens. It's been dressed. Make sure we get some of our peas onto the plate. Keep it on the plate, Gary. Get some of that beautiful asparagus, just so your guests will know exactly what it is they're eating. And now we have a poached egg, which I'm going to place atop. Just a final seasoning of salt, a crack of black pepper, and there we have our salad. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, I'll take you quickly through the ingredients for our second side. We have salt, ground cumin, zest of an orange, some chili flakes, honey, and the juice of the orange. And of course, I have our carrots, which I have peeled, trimmed, and halved. And I also have olive oil, which I'm going to add to our pan. Just drizzle that in. I'll wait for that to heat up. This is a really simple side, and it's one of my favorites. I just love carrots. So we'll just saute these in the oil for about 3 minutes. So as those start to soften, we'll add in our cumin. And that's about half a teaspoon. Oh, the smell, the aroma is amazing. And we just want to stir that around so all of those carrots are coated in the cumin. Okay, that's starting to look really good. And it's at this point we want to add our orange juice and our honey. Now, you could use maple syrup if you prefer, or an agave if you want to keep this plant-based. It's beautiful. This honey is a wildflower honey. So I'm just going to increase the temperature just a bit as we start to allow that to reduce to form our glaze. We just want to keep those carrots moving as the glaze reduces and starts to thicken. It really only takes a couple more minutes. The fragrance from the honey, the cumin, and the orange juice, really fantastic. This is quite an adult flavored and spiced glazed carrot dish. So just finishing reducing that. Those carrots are looking perfect, and the glaze just a little bit longer, and we'll have our finished product. What I want to do now, just before we take them off, is to add some chili flakes, just to give it an extra kick. And to get a bit of heat. As I say, this is definitely an adult seasoned spiced glazed carrot. This is something I learned to make with different, slightly different, sweeter spicing when I was a young boy, a teenager. One of my favorite things to do for the family. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. So that glaze is thickened beautifully. And now I'm just going to add in our zest from our orange. And a pinch of salt, sea salt, just to round off the flavors, maybe another little pinch. And now, all there's left to do is to plate. Okay, I've cleaned up a little bit, and I have our plate ready, and I've also chopped some fresh parsley, and I'm just going to arrange our batons of glazed carrot on a dish. Once I have them plated, I'm just going to sprinkle over a bit of our parsley. There we have our honey and cumin glazed carrots with a little kick from the chili flakes, ready for the table. Now I will take you through the ingredients for our last side, which is deviled eggs. So I have some hard-boiled eggs, anchovy, Dijon mustard, salt and pepper, and a little paprika to garnish. And I have a little dish already set up, waiting for our finished deviled eggs, which has lamb's lettuce. So I'm just going to take a little bowl, and the first thing I need to do is to retrieve my yolks. So I'm just going to slice these lengthwise, and I'll remove the yolk to the bowl. So the yolk just pops out easily into the bowl. I'll just set those there for now, where it'll be nestled later. Now the easiest thing to do really is just to take a fork and mash these. So I'm going to sprinkle a little of our sea salt. Not too much because we're going to have the anchovy. Add the anchovy in there. Crack of our black pepper. And I'll just start to mash that all together. And you could also use anchovy paste rather than a whole anchovy. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the mixture and a bit of our Dijon mustard. We just want to get this to a smooth paste. Now you can pipe this, or you can use a spoon to add them back into the whites. I think at this point I want to add some of our lemon zest, which adds a little brightness to the mixture. And I'm also going to add some of the juice, just using my hand to strain the pips. Now, hopefully you can see you've got a decent consistency. Okay, I think I've got that well incorporated, all the ingredients, and I'm just going to use our little spoon to start to fill our egg. So I'm just going to scoop that back into the white. Now, as I say, you can pipe these if you prefer. And it will make it a little more attractive. But these are really just little appetizers, just something to have on the table, awaiting your guests. So just fill the last one. Arrange these nicely in our tray. And then what I want to do is just to finish off with some paprika. And there we have our side of deviled eggs ready for your table. Okay, now it's time to taste all of our sides. And I'm going to start off with this beautiful salad. Oh, and look at the beautiful runny yolk. Okay, let's taste it. some egg. Make sure we get some of our asparagus. I really like the tartness from the lemon and the Dijon, which is really special. And now I'll try one of our deviled eggs. Oh, the anchovy is subtle. It adds that bit of saltiness. The paprika, the lemon. You know, I haven't always been a fan of hard-boiled eggs, but I really like that. And now, one of my all-time favorites, the glazed carrots. They retain enough crunch, but it's soft, delicious. You get just a hint of the heat from the chili, and that honey, that wild flower honey, really is beautiful. It's not too sweet. It's really perfect. A great addition to any table. Well, thank you for joining me today at Gary's Urban Larder. I hope you enjoyed our 3 recipes for our 3 sides, and hopefully it'll turn up on your Easter or spring table. Until next time, bye-bye. Oh yes.